here's a little overview of an interesting extension of the doc structure. So again, we're at home, and here is just a kind of a tag cloud, but really just a list of all the models. Going back into the Glide editor, we can see in the data tab that I have a models table, and I just created individual effectively files for each model, and then I ran a query just to see all the documents that have that model. And I can do that because documents themselves, I just put in alpha. I just called it alpha and beta. It was docs and like support or something, but I considered beta like a comment or a order purchase or a response, or in this case I thought, since we have PDFs, let's create like a book concept which would have pages. Well, but I kept pages as an alpha structure because I wanted to be able to apply. Alpha it's like an article and has a ton of fields connected to it. If it's keywords and how many keywords there are, and then reference the keywords and split them up by arrays, and here's the timestamp and the actual timestamp, and then the extracted date, extracted week number, and then the relative view, if it's like a month ago, and then also an updated timestamp, and then the different images of like automatically generated. This is just an interesting feature which I use in the background to kind of blur it out, but it's kind of animation. Your direct image uploads, if it's particular, or if it's a video and it pulls out the thumbnail, or we have an auto-generated stock image, and then we make an array of all these pieces, and then finally do like an if-then statement, a chain to say like if there's a direct, find the final image to show if you have to pick one. So basically, if they directly uploaded them, great, use that. Otherwise, use the stock image. Otherwise, use the thumbnail. Otherwise, use like the PDF thumbnail. So anyway, author, target, status, tasks, because every document is the same structure. So a task is an event, and so I have specific categories for those particular models. It's like, I don't know, maybe these should be like beta documents for like verification or timestamp. The approval was met based off an assignment or whatever the project management software does. So back to the books. I created a new thing called a book, and it's just a model. Again, you can just create a document and say this is a book model. And I was realizing you should really be able to uniquely identify the thing straight up instead of choosing from a list. So there's pages. So I uploaded a PDF, and I created just the concept of child docs, but the child doc you can create to it, and the child doc, which just has a parent ID reference, could have the model of a page. But I could also create a group from this. I don't know. The idea is that you have nodes that it can just attach themselves and define themselves however. So I can certainly create an event from a group, maybe a group from an article. Someone could say, hey, I have an idea of creating this club. It's the chess club. And then you just say create a new child document and call it a group. And that's just, in that case, it just records the relationship, which is cool because it's the sense of time. And sometimes they just make more sense than others. Like a purchase could be a child document of a product, but this is also the alpha tier, so maybe that would be more of a beta tier where we don't need an AI analysis of a keyword extraction of an order, because it's just going to be an order. And those kind of self-reveal because just sometimes a bunch of documents get created and the AI keywords get extracted and then they go to the top of the list, and it's annoying. It's like the most popular tag is order because there's so many orders when it's really not designed for like the alpha tier. Like, what is the creative post concept? Like, that's an original thought from a human versus more like tracking an action. But anyway, so you can create new pages. And then, so it has the doc structure here, but if it is a page, then we have a next page button. And because it is a page, here's a model of page, and we can map out the different models. And it's just fascinating, the different concept of like intellectual sort of categorization of what is a model, what's a different document type, what is an action, and what are the relationships, and what should be I need to view. So if it is a page, then this rank will show up, I think, right? If it's an event, no. Oh yeah, it goes away. So I call it a page, and then it has a rank. So we can cancel that. It has a location, whatever. We'll put a map, same sort of engine for the document. But if I click the next page, it'll take this action, or we can examine it where you say next page, or close the navigation, and we can go down to the button. It should be nice to search for these. So there's a book button block, and on the book button block, I have an action. You can just add an action, and then it creates a button, and then you can choose the actual list of actions, which individually have their own options if you just want to put it right there, or you can reference an actual action because it's more of a compound action. For any document on the alpha, there's a go to next page. So I can delete this guy, and we can verify that create next page just as it chooses the make next page option right there. So what does that mean? Go into here, or I suppose we can just go into here. So like go to next page, edit the action. So that pops up the action editor. So what are we doing? Going to the next page. So we add an element to the set for the current document that we're clicking on. So we're on the particular current page, and it says string set, add the viewers take the viewer set, add the element of the user profile info name. This is where we can look up the info name. So basically take my name and add it to the viewer set, and then save it to the viewer set. So I'm just toggling my name back and forth on the viewers list. And I just wanted to show a notification just to mark that page marked viewed, and then go to the details screen of, well, within the book we have a reference of the next page ref, which if I look up book, we have a next page ref column. If I scroll down, you can see that in the last update document, the last document I created, there was a book with pages. Well, what's the next page? So it's a query, so there's a column that in itself has a database query. In this case, we're using the source of any documents. We're going to say find all the documents that have the same parent ID as what is in this particular row in the parent ID. So this row, and then find the parent ID, meaning all the documents basically have the same parent ID as this particular document in this particular row. So it's running that query. Click out of here, and then we'll also say, now also find the rank where the main rank, which is just a number, I say like 1, equals the value of, in this document that we're in, this particular row, the current page we're viewing, the main rank next. Well, what is the rank next? That's just a math column. Go over here, type in rank next. Rank next is a math column. What does it mean? Rank plus 1. Well, we replace rank with the actual column value of rank. In this case, we can see over here because I searched over rank. And say this is the rank. So it's just started with the number that I just typed in. It could be anything. But then I took the math and I said, we'll just plus it by 1 so that we can use it over here when we're trying to calculate the next page. So the next page will have a rank. The document that we're looking for has a rank equal to this particular row and the rank plus 1. All the way up, rank next. And then we also say, just for, I don't know if it helps with database speed, but we can also just create a filter saying, and also the document has to have the model of page. Which it obviously will if it has a rank and has the same parent ID, but just for sake of clarification. So that's a query that returns one particular document. This is only going to have one rank. What we need then is to create a relationship to that document. You would think that would be enough, but it's not. So this is a single value, which just says take the first value of the thing that we returned in the last one. So book next page is a query. It says we could pull this whole row that was returned from the query, or we can just pull a particular field value. In this case, I just want the row ID of whatever is returned in here. That way, I have a text value of this field ID. Then I create a relation column to say, take that value from that next page single extraction, and then match it to the value in anything from the alpha database that matches the row ID. Therefore, this reference is the actual document that we're referencing, which allows us to then create a navigation action trigger to go to that reference. So we go back into the actions. We're back to the go to next page. We've already added our username to the viewer set. It says show the detail screen. So here's an action, part of the actions library, where we can edit it. We can create a new one. We can just create a new close. I've never used close the overlay, but sign in. Go to the tab that's just like basic app actions. You can also go into the data and kind of manipulate data. There's some wild stuff with JSON objects I haven't really used, but certainly creating sets and just moving items in and out of an array is helpful for like likes or views or bookmarks or just basic. And I think also I'm going to move into like purchasers, because there should be like a microtransaction where if I want to view a page, I should be able to say like buy the page and like use a point to say I want access to this page, which is really getting into like the pay-per-view concept, which is fucking awesome. Just because, I mean, it's basically OnlyFans, but with sex is just a category. This is just pay-per-view. This is premium content, but you also want to piecemeal out all the interest in it. And the idea of like reading a book and then going, do you want to purchase the next page for a penny is so cool to me.
I like it as I like the vignettes.
Particularly if like you earn the points just by contributing to the community as well.
But that's like an entire book.
And financially, it's the best way to sort of extract. If you're creating a currency, you make the most money by extracting the most resources, but it's a combination of extraction and like I don't know, adding to the bandwidth. But anyway, so I'll show that. So there's a navigation, and there's also communication, send an email, dial a phone number, call an API, but then there's an AI, just generate a document from the text, convert a text to a date, which is shit like that allows, you can just add a post saying, hey, I'm throwing a party next Thursday at my place, and I can just pull all that information out. And it's fucking amazing. And then all the integrations. You want to send out an email, Google Analytics, custom event, HubSpot, edit a company, it's like a CRM thing, which we could use. I just don't really see the fucking benefit of. That just feels like it's wildly powerful and also not that useful, but super easy to integrate once you're getting so big that you're like, might as well just, like, we're making so much money that we might as well just like infuse the database with public information. Like, I ate a burrito, Qdoba, boom, here's all the Qdoba information. Outlook, Mixpanel, anyway, Stripe. So what am I doing? Showing the detail screen, and what's the day that I can show the detail screen for? I'm on one page, I want to go to the next. Well, we have a reference of the next page, which is the same parent ID, but also 1 plus rank. Now created and then we ran a query to find that next page, then extracted the ID, then created a specific reference to that next page, which allowed us to use the detail screen navigation item for finding the next page ref. So it just goes there and just doing the next page. Say going to the next page. So all that to show that now we're here, we have the next page, and we can go to the next page, which has the same parent, which is the UI. It just doesn't feel totally right, but it's up here. This is the parent document. We can always say this is like the book we're reading, and we just go boom, read the book, go to the next page, go to the next page, and down here is the percent, because each time we mark it as read, then we create an aggregation of all the pages that we read, all the total pages that we have, and pick out the percentage and show it. So if I were to, I'm going through all these pages, I would need like reading mode just to have this minimalized. Next page. So now there's no next page. So, and that I know that because the create next page button showed up. So what I want to be able to say, go to next page. I'm going to create add a condition where so these are the fields available to the document that we have in context, and the book should have a next page ref is not empty. And because that just engaged, there's no button to say go to next page because there isn't a next page. I want to say create a next page, and I want to add an icon just to the action button, and there's a plus. Alright, create a next page. Boom. Now I can go to the next page because that exists. And that should change to like less than 90, but anyway. Yeah, moving forward on the books, and so we can charge per like point. So the next thing is to purchase the next page, which just adds you to the purchasers, debits 1 point, and then also adding like a UI image based off of the description and an AI narration, which is generated from the text. Really excited. Fun stuff.